streaming on Fan and Frenzy or?
No, fuck no, I ain't doing that to a guest.
Yeah, because it's showing up on Fan and Frenzy.
No, I shut it down. I fucked up originally, so I'm gonna just snap that down in a minute. There, we're live. Please tell me we're not private. Yeah, we're public. Excellent. Fucking beautiful.
Nice.
Awesome.
All right, I do have a series of questions lined up, but let me just tweet this out and throw this in a couple of different rooms. I do know one I wanted to get going here real quick. Not that we would ever condone violence, but hypothetically, if you were a violent person, on a scale of 1 to 10, how punchable did you find Wired Soul?
Rewired Soul?
Oh, yeah. Just hypothetically.
I don't know. I'm not really a violent person.
No, exactly. No, I worded it properly, sir. No.
Yeah. How much would he deserve to get punched, I guess?
Yes.
Out of 10? Probably maybe like a 7.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, like there's obviously way worse people in the world, but like he's pretty scummy in terms of just like manipulation and stuff like that.
Oh god, he was something else.
Yeah.
I try and like give people the benefit of the doubt, but oh my god, he got on my last nerve. As soon as he said he wasn't prepared, and I would have been like, hey, you know what the smart thing to do for you would be? Oh, they already plugged it. That's wonderful. It would have been good if he would have just said here, I'm not prepared, give me 2 more weeks. That would have been something.
Yeah, like, dude, I can't believe he didn't even watch Nick's video. He made a 21,000 word reply to his video and didn't even watch it. It was copy paste from something else, I think. I don't know. He just slapped Dear Nick on it.
Christ.
So dumb.
That's some thorough work right there, that is.
Indeed. Let me get to my questions real quick here. Since I know I did that one by memory. Feel free to pop in, Coyote, if I'm running you over here. Stream. How did you guys run into KEEMSTAR in the first place, out of curiosity, between you and Augie over there?
How did we run into KEEMSTAR?
Yeah.
So, I had a drama that launched me into the community. It was the Pokemon copyright strike drama. I don't know how familiar you are with that. But basically, KEEMSTAR came to know me primarily through that. He knew me a bit before because I re-uploaded some of his stuff back when I didn't really do commentary or wasn't a huge force in the commentary community. Well, not that I am a huge force now, but it's just like I wasn't relevant in any sense. So what happened is that Black Wolf Company made a video and KEEMSTAR called it out on Twitter, and I called him out for calling it out, and he was like, KEEMSTAR said something along the lines of, I'll rip BWC's video to shreds. I'm like, okay, I bet you can't. Try to rip it to shreds with me on my live stream. And he did, or no, he didn't rip it to shreds, but he came onto my live stream, we debated, and I already knew Augie during that time. And that's kind of how he got involved with me. And then when I went over to After Hours, KEEMSTAR hopped into the streams because I was tweeting about them. He saw it, and then he just started hopping into the streams because he already knew me from that stream we did arguing about Black Wolf Company's video. So
now, when things went sideways between you and Keem, is that just in direction to the Just Destiny drama here?
Yeah, basically. Well, it kind of went sideways with Keem during the Black Wolf Company stream, the one that I just mentioned, because I was disagreeing with him. I was arguing with him. And ultimately, we agreed on the same thing, but it was an argument of semantics, but I intentionally made the argument go on because I thought this was the only time I'd ever be able to talk to KEEMSTAR, have KEEMSTAR on my channel. Like, I didn't even expect to grow that much. I thought I was at my peak at that time. So I just wanted to entertain people by having him on for a long period of time, which meant I had to kind of disagree with him, and I did disagree with him on like one small aspect, but it was very trivial. But I pushed that aspect so the stream would go on longer and I could argue with him, and he kind of started disliking me through that. And then once the Just Destiny stuff happened with him doxing Just Destiny and me being against him in regards to that, that really like cemented it as like, I don't like Bowblax. Like, that's where the clip comes from. Fuck this autistic retard, I'm out. Like, that's where that comes from, is that feud.
Jeez, I just lost my thought here because I was going to include the...
If you want, I can jump into the question.
Oh, yeah, no, I was just making sure to include a link to the video here at the bottom of the description if anybody wanted to follow up on that as well. You've had some pretty controversial people, I mean, Augie's had some pretty controversial people on the stream. Was there anybody that you were personally worried about when you had a chance to talk to on there?
Personally worried about? Probably when Zoom came in, I was a little worried because I didn't really know much about Zoom, but everybody was saying, like, dude, Zoom's a horrible guy. If he comes in here, we're fucked. We might get doxxed. We might actually be in danger. So I was kind of a little scared to even, like, say anything bad against Zoom, and because of the way I was warned about him, I did end up standing up to him and saying some shit, and it didn't really go the way I expected. It went a lot better. But a lot of people warned me that Zoom was like a super like dangerous guy, like don't even interact with him at all. So I was a little worried when he came in. Besides that, not really. I mean, sometimes when Keem would consistently come in and bring up a pretty good point and I couldn't like defend it right away, I did feel like a bit nervous in some ways, I guess, if I really think about it. But besides that, no, not really.
You wanted to say something, Coyote? I didn't want to think I was running you over.
It's just the question I had was a little bit about your relationship with like Nicholas Diorio, because I know that he made a video about the time when there was that whole Instagram wake up non-starter movement with Charm Skull and a couple other people. I think like Troon or something. I know that he made a video. Yeah. Like a couple of days later, it seemed like a lot of you were friends like almost immediately, and I just wanted to see if there's like a deep lore about that. Like, you know, it was a little bit difficult to follow. If there's any kind of way to clarify like how all of that went down.
Yes, so the Instagram wake up shit happened, and I was ultimately in the wrong. I shouldn't have supported it. Most people know this by now. And Nick made a video criticizing me, and we weren't friends at the time. He made, and after he made his video, he made, I think it was after like I went on Shot from the Point or somewhere around that time, he made a tweet thread that like criticized me very, very harshly, saying I don't want to have anything to do with Bowblax. He is word vomiting, driving my friend's reputation into the mud, and he was referencing Augie, and that really hit me because I was like, holy shit, I don't want to, you know, hurt Augie by my actions. So I started DMing him, and I really opened up to him on like why I actually did all those things, and like I apologized, and I tried to like ask him to help me to, you know, what can I do to correct the situation? What can I do to do that? And he was very responsive to that. And I guess we just continued to talk and become friends over time right after that. So it's kind of funny because he said, I don't want anything to do with Bowblax ever again. And then we talked in DMs, and all of a sudden, like a day later, we're talking like friends on a live stream. So
does it happen a lot in the... Well, feels weird to say the commentary community since there seems to be a bunch of subsections of that bitch.
Yeah, it doesn't happen that often. You have to have a really specific type of personality, I guess, to really be able to forgive someone that quickly, because a lot of the people in the commentary community are very like spiteful. They're like, okay, this is the person I hate, I'm gonna hate them until the end, and it's me versus you. So that doesn't really happen too often. Generally, I do see that most people in the commentary community are nice, but there are a lot of shit stirrers as well, and shit stirrers don't tend to want to make up in private because they're like, hey, this drama's benefiting me. Why would I want to try and reach out and, you know, come to a solution? That's what... so, yeah.
I noticed you guys had on Cothrix as well as Dylan Thomas. Are there any, like, furries that you guys are itching to have on the show? If you could set the table, if you will.
I'm not really sure if Dylan is a furry. Maybe you would know more than me.
Okay, let's put it this way. People feel comfortable calling bronies furries, so I don't see why we can't call the Sonic community furries, huh?
I don't know. Like, it really depends.
I think I even personally made a statement in one of my recent videos that I consider it an offshoot, and like I am a fucking furry, so I think it's safe to say we can probably make that kind of generalization and get away with it.
Well, here we'll put it this way. If furry is Coke, they're Diet Coke, which is still a soda, yeah?
Yeah, maybe.
Like their Diet Coke, your Pepsi, you know, like there's just different brands.
Yeah, it depends. I would say some of the Sonic community are furry-like. There's people in the Sonic community... Okay, so there's like the Sonic community that is more like furry-ish, and then there's the Sonic community that's more gaming. Because Sonic is a video game franchise, obviously. So it's like There's people who like the Sonic games and just like the gameplay and the mechanics, and they're like, oh, these are good video games. And then there's the people who are like, I love the Sonic characters. I love Amy. I love Shadow. I like drawing Sonic in furry, scenarios. So I would say part of the Sonic community is furry, but not all of it, because there's also that gaming aspect to it, where people can just like the video games and not be furries at all.
So again, you might get yourself in trouble, especially since Augie's watching. So between Tipster, Augie, Nick the Oreo, am I saying that right? Tommy C, and the rest of the rotating cast, who would you say is the nuttiest?
Tommy C.
It's not a surprise. Either it would be him or Tipster. Alternatively, who's the most level-headed?
The most level-headed, probably Tipster, or maybe Augie and Nick are also level-headed. Like I wouldn't say any of them are not level-headed, but Tipster is very level-headed. So I guess if I had to choose one, I'd choose them. But all of them are level-headed.
No, I noticed before listening when you came back. I forget which stream it was where you're like, I don't want to come in and ruin your podcast, Augie, bringing in my grief between me and Tommy C. But since Tommy's never going to be on here, would you like to go into more detail about that right here? You don't have to.
I could. There's a lot of details I could go into. I think the best way to approach it is for you to ask questions and maybe I can answer.
Okay.
I'm not too familiar. I don't know how familiar you are with the Tommy Beef or how familiar
the only time I managed to come on to talk about Tommy C, sadly enough, was about I popped into his fucking stream when they were talking about Mumkey or some shit like that, and when they threw Meatman off the server, I was like, you're just being a dick, and then I fucking walked away, and one of my friends came up to me and said, he said, bring it, Anthony. I'm like, oh, fuck. I gotta go in there and talk to him now, and he was straight up and fucking respectful. I was actually surprised, because I'm used to seeing over-the-top crazy Tommy C. I don't know what happened in your case. What was the argument that you guys got into?
Yeah, so what I think happened is, like, Tommy has this tendency to be, I feel like, very paranoid and he kind of always like finds like antagonists for him to go against. Like first it was KEEMSTAR. Like KEEMSTAR definitely screwed him over, but like talking about KEEMSTAR for that long and hating him for that much for over 3 years is kind of a bit weird. And then it was Tipster, and now it's me, where it's like he hates them no matter what, and there's no way to where he can like compromise that. So I just think I'm the next, I guess, target for Tommy C. Like Tommy C is pretty nice and respectful to everybody else. Like Tommy C, I think
he doesn't like the cut of your jib, so to speak.
Yeah, he just doesn't like me in particular. And I think it also comes from the fact that, number one, he's very paranoid. I have made a couple mistakes in the past. Instagram wake up promoting that, and then I also misspoke regarding like a serious thing in a video. So he thinks that there might be a pattern to where I would fuck up in the future, and he's very paranoid of that. So instead of talking it out with me or letting me clarify to him or that it'll be fine or whatever, or giving me the benefit of the doubt, he just wants to preemptively try and destroy me or destroy my reputation or something.
So
I don't really know.
You're his Meg.
I guess I don't know what that means.
You're not familiar with Family Guy?
Yeah, shut up.
Not really.
There's this one character that every time they scream, "Damn it, Meg!" Move. Anyways, I'm sure everybody in the chat will get that one. So
you need to be careful. He has taste. He doesn't watch Family Guy.
Oh, it's fine. I'm assuming he might have got the online means, but moving past that, I was watching your video, though, worst accounts on Twitter, where you covered a guy named At That Boy. When
yeah, truest boy.
Yeah, when you read off Polypan Necro, do you ever think like your first reactions, like getting into this shit? Maybe not even specifically that one, since I'm assuming you were a bit weathered by then. Do you ever just look at it and going, "This has got to be bullshit"?
Maybe. I don't know.
Don't even remember anymore.
The way he's so aggressive about it, and the way that he like consistently talks about it on his timeline, I think he even had pictures of him trying to like turn a dead animal into like a fleshlight or something. Like it's legit. I'm pretty sure. If not, it's like a very, very elaborate troll, and I don't know why he would take the time to do that. But either way, it was, I guess, kind of interesting to read out. I don't really know if people were entertained or disgusted or interested. I really didn't know what the reaction would be uploading that video, but
There
I
you
thought
go.
I'd just do it.
I included that in the description, labeled it the zoo video. The justifications were interesting, where he tried to conflate how basically zoophilia is illegal, and his whole response was, well, the Holocaust, that used to be legal. And I was like, oh, this is right up there with people going, yeah, Hitler used to like that thing you're talking about now.
Yeah. It's just so stupid.
I know. I'm like,
you know who ate apricots? Hitler.
This is a pro tip for everybody listening. I'm sure Bowblax already knows this one. Don't argue with furries on Twitter.
Yeah. There's a reason why I didn't argue with him on Twitter. I just read him out and criticized him on YouTube, because if I responded on Twitter, I would have been blocked. I would have been reported. I would have been harassed.
We did get
you
one.
Would have gotten a tism storm for 3 days.
We did get one of those guys on. That was interesting. So yeah. I can't recommend that because I don't know how old Augie is, and I don't want to put him in danger if he's a kid.
He's 18 now. So.
Oh, okay. Well, go dip your foot in the blood pool there, son. Moving on past here, let's talk about Shane Dawson. I hope you don't pass here because I've got a big fat chunk here. This is the man responsible for the former furry YouTuber Kira the Wolf. He managed to get in the door because Shane Dawson was friends with another furry YouTuber went by the name of Ashley Zoe Fox. They have a lot of their own baggage. Instead of addressing any of the issues with their audience, when Kiro got caught with all his issues, he just yanked down the video. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, Shane Dawson just took down the video?
Yes.
After all the controversy? I don't know. Does he really have to address it? He could address it maybe on Twitter or something, but I don't know. Does he really did his audience grow a significant amount since that time? Because,
if you can look at the views and you can assume that Kiro was probably around maybe the 1,000 area, maybe 10,000, and then he shot up to 100,000. So I mean, I talk about some level of responsibility, and especially since the way Kiro acted, it might have attracted a lot of younger viewers. Coyote, you might be a little bit more versed on this, as you're a little bit more deep into the furry thing than I am.
I mean, I know as far as Shane Dawson, shouting out Kiro, there was a statement in the video, I watched that video, where he did mention the number of subscribers. I think Kiro did, because it was in the update video that Shane Dawson reacted to, kind of, in that beginning segment. Where I think he was at either 8,000 or 9,000. I'm not sure what he went to after that, but I'm sure if it's, his Social Blades archived, you could probably see what the growth was. If you just compare the dates of the Shane Dawson upload versus subscriber growth on Kiro's channel.
I mean, Shane Dawson has always been big, so I'm sure it gave him a significant amount of growth. I think he probably should have responded on Twitter or Instagram, not necessarily in a YouTube video. Especially if it's a YouTube video on another topic and he just shoehorns in an update that kind of ruins the flow of a video. But yeah, he probably should have said something on Twitter or Instagram.
Okay, sometimes things don't necessarily get across in social media, but now I kind of get your whole idea that maybe that's the case. But staying a little bit on topic there, now in addition to that, there's a couple of clips. Are you familiar with the actual videos of animal abuse that Shane Dawson has? Well, allegedly, I guess we'll say, depending on your...
do you mean him kissing the dog and stuff like that?
Or slamming his face in the dog's crotch?
Yeah.
Fun story. Right before the stream today, when I was looking through stuff, I noticed that Memeology's video was long gone, and I was like, "Oh, it's a good thing I got that backed up."
Yeah, I don't know why Memeology took that down. Maybe he changed his opinion on Shane Dawson,
I don't know. Maybe it got ripped down on him. But I was like, "Oh yeah," I was like. Do you consider? What are your thoughts? Where do you consider it just a joke, or
Yeah, I considered it just a joke for most of the time. When I saw the kissing thing in particular, didn't he put peanut butter on the dog and kissed him or something? I don't really remember. It's been since March that I watched that. It did seem a bit questionable. I don't think he fucks his animals or anything like that. I just think maybe he's a bit weird and he doesn't really know what's appropriate jokes on YouTube. Some people were saying because he made the cat coming joke in 2015, and a lot of people were saying oh, it's okay to make those jokes back then, and I was like, 2015, Not really. I could see 2811, but
Well,
20...
the way I put it like this is, jokes are jokes.
Yeah.
But then he started to cross over a little bit into the real world, and, then he didn't want to address the thing about Kiro, and he's still friends with Ashley Zoe Fox, and, sometimes where there's smoke, there might be fire. But, you gave your statement, I can respect it, I suppose.
Yeah,
well,
it could be either one.
I think 2015, another important thing to remember is 2015, even then, was still a really different time from now, because if you keep in mind that even Leafy wasn't here yet, it kind of changes, like, the way it's perceived. Like, a lot of edgy humor was a lot more tolerable even around 2015.
Yeah, for sure. It's gone progressively less edgy, like, ever since, I guess, 2010. But that's only when I've really started to focus on internet and internet culture. So maybe it was even more edgy before that.
I've got a lovely segue in that case. How long do you feel that you should be banned from social media for tossing your cat over your head? You know what I'm talking about, right?
You're talking about Alinity.
Yeah.
I think she should be banned for 30 days. If not that, I guess a week.
Yeah, she got completely off scot-free with that shit too, right?
Yeah. Especially, not just for, like, throwing the cat, but especially for Twitch to be consistent with their TOS. Like, other people have done similar things, the same thing, stuff that's even less egregious, and they've been banned. So why can't she get banned?
She should at least be copy striked.
How the hell do you... I forget it was either you or Augie or maybe even Coyote Lovely here. How do you keep up with all these different brands of, like, YouTube drama? Is there, like, a quick tip place that I might be able to... Or is it just Augie's stream?
No, how I keep up with it is I like to use Twitter a lot. Okay. If you follow me, you might have noticed that. And I use TweetDeck, which you can have, like, custom feeds of certain people, and I just make, like, a Twitter list of certain specific people that I want to follow who talk about drama or whatever, and then I have a feed for that, and I just look at it all the time. So, like, I have Memeology on there, I would have KEEMSTAR on there if he didn't block me, Tipster, a bunch of other just drama people in general, just to see what people are saying, what people are talking about. So that's pretty much how I keep up with news.
Here, let me just grab that other video because people are asking if they really fed she really fed her dog Vaca, so I can link that one too. I wasn't sure if people were interested. Alright, let's see. Whew. Let's see.
Lots of animal abuse going on recently.
Yeah. I'm not even sure what I'm going to call that one. Girl tossing cat Twitch. What do you call them? Twitcher or
Twitch streamer?
Twitch streamer. There we go. Jesus.
E-thoughts.
Huh?
Yeah, dude. Sometimes they're called thoughts.
Yeah, I'm not that old. I managed to get the e-thought question, or fucking response here. Let's see. Right. What was the name? Can you get me the link of? You said it was some kind of index thing. Or what's it? What did you call it again?
Oh, call what?
You said the index. Is that a plugin or what?
Oh, a list?
Yeah, you said you had some kind of. Is it like an attachment to your web browser or what?
No, like on Twitter, you can add people to lists, and then that makes a custom feed.
Oh, derp. Okay, well, fine, fantastic.
Yeah, it's not like it's a native thing to Twitter.
Well, I feel absolutely terrible since we just peaked at 60 and I ran out. I don't know.
You ran out.
Yeah, I don't know. I was either expecting you to freeze up or argue longer. You know what's sad? If this would have been pre-recorded, I could have probably edited this down to like 10-15 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, we can. I'm down to talk about anything if you have any questions off the top of your head, or you want to go more in depth on stuff we've already mentioned.
Well, here I'm reading the chat to see if anybody has any questions along the way. Let's see. Easy for me.
Oh, by the way, congratulations on getting like 20K subscribers, I believe, in the past like 6 months. That's pretty fucking big.
Yeah, it's been crazy. Yeah, the growth has been insane. I'm very appreciative of it.
Since you're a commentary channel, have you had any problems with YouTube about the TOS changing? I haven't noticed anything myself.
No, I don't think the TO. I think they're talking about changing, or they have changed the TOS, but I don't think like the systems are integrated into the algorithm yet. I haven't noticed any changes.
Yeah.
Besides the fact that I get constantly demonetized, but that's always been a thing.
I don't know. Are we in the middle of another freaking adpocalypse or not? It's hard to tell anymore.
I don't think it's an adpocalypse anymore. I just think it's YouTube cracking down and making a lot of changes in regards to commentary content. Like, I don't think YouTube wants commentary content on the platform, so they're trying to do like everything they can to make it so they're kind of suppressed. Not that it's like you can't upload them, but if you upload them, you're gonna have a severe disadvantage compared to somebody else.
I used to get away with more myself. For example, when I covered Kiro, for whatever reason, I got that green check mark. A little bit easier than these days.
Yeah. There's certain types of... There's certain YouTubers or like people that just automatically get demonetized and detected by YouTube. Like, for example, I'm Alex. If you put that in the title at all, instant demonetization. Doesn't matter anything else. So.
I've noticed if you take out certain tags, it'll switch back to green. Like, I've noticed victim is one of those words that you can't use, so you have to try and be creative. And then that stopped working entirely, so...
Oh, yeah. Oh, you mean switch to green even after confirmation?
No. Like, before putting it out, because you used to be able to sit there and try to appeal and wait.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's changed. YouTube keeps changing to make it more
appealing.
Yeah,
I'm too impatient. I just want to upload it right away. So
tell me about it. Shit. Jesus.
Yeah, especially when it comes to trending topics, you really don't want to wait.
Is there any, like, I mean, I've had this happen myself. Is there anything that you're, like, you're dying to chop at the bit at? You're in the middle of something else, and I'll get there, and by the time you finally catch up, like, it's just gone. And you're like,
yeah, that has happened to me for commentary videos. Now with the Twitter videos, I can make them relatively quickly. So not as much recently, but yeah, that's definitely happened. But those times where, like, I want to get to something, and then it's just too late, and I decide not to do it. Like, for example, I was going to make a Twitter video on the gun and Walmart stuff that was going on, but I took too long, so I'm like, fuck it, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, oddly enough, I think it was either Flamenco or Gator who was tweeting out about that, and it was some meme about out of my dead cold hands, and I just reminded myself that my dad was out visiting in El Paso, Texas. I was like, here, wait a minute, I better make a call before I start yucking this up. But yeah, thankfully he was fine. Coyote, anything?
Not really. I mean,
it's certainly not as bad as the Rags one, where I was like, everybody will be able to talk. Yeah, we just ran out of stuff ahead of time. It was good while it lasted.
Oh man, I'm so sorry about that.
No, hey, look, it's fine. We got in, we got out. As long as we prevent it from having any dead air. I'm glad we had you on. If there's a time in the future you'd like to come back, or maybe there's something more relevant. But usually, yeah. You guys.
I love talking, so like I can come on any time too. It's fun.
Yeah, the only reason I waited so damn long is that the time I want to stream is about the same time you guys do a show, and I'm like, fuck.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
It worked out.
Alright, good boss. I'll kill the stream real quick. And Godspeed, everybody.